Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name, of course, is Chris, and we're talking about WIldStar today. So why don't you come close, real close, and get comfortable like the sheep has. Very comfortable, and we'll discuss WIldStar. No, but really, we're going to talk about WIldStar today, and specifically, we're going to be talking about questing in WIldStar. So many of you who've been watching my channel and enjoy WIldStar videos might know that I've been kind of taking another look at WIldStar, especially the new player experience, because I have a lot of characters that are higher levels, 50 obviously, and then some people that are like 40 that I go and quest on sometimes, but I actually had all my character slots filled for quite a while and never really tried making a new character. So I decided to do that since they've done a lot of the revamps, and I've actually been very impressed. This area that you're seeing right now is something I don't remember at all from the first time I played WIldStar, and maybe it was in the game and I was just too stupid to find it, but it feels completely new and it was easy for me to sort of stumble upon while I was just doing my regular questing. And what it does is it's teaching you kind of about your support role. In this situation, I'm being taught how to tank. They teach me about my aggro, they teach me about my taunts, my pulls, how to deal with large amounts of mobs on me. It even tells me sort of how to put the skills on my bar. And I think that's just a really great idea that not a lot of MMOs really take time to consider. I mean, who's really gonna, think about teaching the new people how to do these support roles? But it's a very important thing, especially if you want to get the dungeon queues for low levels. You kind of need to know how to do your support role. So I thought it was a really great idea myself, and I was, I liked it a lot. What I also enjoyed about it was that they kind of reused this NPC here who used to be the person who would sell you your skills in beta. For those of you who didn't play beta, back then they used to have it so that you'd go and buy each skill from this person, from this like robot person, and you'd have to go and find it each time. Kind of like a few other old MMOs do that kind of situation. Kind of like Black Desert Online, actually, if you've played that. They sort of changed this, and I think having the skills just be a part of your character is a lot cleaner in that sense, and that's what a lot of the new MMOs do anyways. But it's kind of a throwback to that NPC, which I do appreciate as well as someone who's been here for a while. So yeah, we're just going to be talking really about the questing. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat like crunching away on his like kibble over there, but we're doing a recording upstairs today just cuz. But he apparently felt like it was a good time for him to come and eat his crunchiest food. So you might hear that in the background, but that just, it makes it feel more homey, like we're connected. I mean, hell, you might not have even known I had a cat, but now you do. So there we go. But yeah, more to the point of questing, there's some things in this game that just make questing so much more fun than a lot of other games. And some of them's new, some of the things are new, but some of them are also old. Like one of my favorite parts of questing in this game, and a lot of other games that do this as well, is the idea of rested XP. Now, this is sort of the idea that when you come back to your character after having left him somewhere for a little bit, you have a period of time where you get more experience from killing monsters, from doing different things. And what this does is it makes it feel rewarding to be a casual player, and that's what this channel has really come about. And I've tried to sell this game as a casual game. The idea of rested experience really helps those who don't go crazy and get to level 50 in 2 days or something like that. If you're casually going on and leveling, this makes it so that when you come on every like maybe twice a week or something like that, you're going to get the most bang out of your time. And especially for me, just coming back to try leveling someone very casually, this has been a very great thing, because when I come back on, I have full rest XP and I can, really make the most of these levels. And with that in mind, I've actually found, getting to level 10 was pretty damn easy, in my opinion. And I think that's really good for a lot of games, to sort of make the first few levels go by pretty quick. You get a lot of your skills. You get to experience a lot of things. I've already had my first expedition, as I made a video on already. But at level 10, you get your first dungeon, which I'll have another video discussing. Just kind of what Proto Game Academy looks like nowadays. But I think it's really good that there's always something for you to be working for, either like a skill upgrade, a new expedition, a new adventure, a new dungeon. I've talked about how they have, almost too many branches of content in a few of my videos. The one thing they do well with their content, though, is they make it so that there's no more than like 2 to 3 levels between a new instance content of some sort. And I think that even if they were to, shrink down adventures maybe into expeditions or something like that, which I actually don't think they'll probably ever do, but that was just one of my suggestions. No matter what they do, I hope they always keep the same little gap between each piece of content. That way you're not going for, a 10 level or 15 level stint of not having a dungeon. And not having a situation where you get to a certain level and there's like 5 different things that you can do, say when you reach level 40, but nothing at all between levels 40 and 50. It just doesn't seem as rewarding if that's the case. Another thing I really do enjoy about questing, and this is maybe more new because I don't remember it when I very first started playing the game, is that you can actually rent a mount now, and you can see me riding my mount. You can rent it for like 2 hours, and it's like, I don't know, what, a few silver or something like that. Like, it costs nothing, but what it does for the game is it makes the questing experience a lot more fun. It really gets players engaged with the movement in this game, and the ability to jump around and move fast and have a lot of fun on the mount is a big part of WIldStar. Now, what this also does is it kind of really gets people, used to seeing what the game will be like at the higher end level. And this is great for people who are just downloading the game as a free trial. You want the game to feel as fun and robust as possible for those people so that they're like, hey, I want to stick around. I want to get my actual mount when I get to a high level. And I think it's a really, it's convenient for people who are trying to game, and it's also convenient for people who, are just making alts and want to level as quickly as possible. This way they can go even faster. So I had a lot of fun with the mount, and it was kind of an interesting case of, I actually wasn't aware that I was going to be able to rent a mount, and I was just sort of looking through the store. I'm like, oh, can I get this mount already? And there you go. I just rode away right then and there, and I thought it was really good. It also, I think it's 2 hours, it says, but I think that's only when you're actually in the game, because I logged on a day later and it was still there. So it's good that way too, where it doesn't disappear when you're not playing, because it's always stupid when items do that, and it makes you feel like, you have to be very cautious about when you specifically buy something or use something. I always think that's really silly in games. So it doesn't look like they've done that, unless for some reason, it just didn't count it for me when I was off, but I don't think that's the case. And I'm sure for a lot of you who are watching this video, you might be thinking, all this is really obvious, Chris. Why are you sharing this information? Well, this is more for people who are trying to get back into the game in 2017, or people who just want to listen to my voice and want to hear me talk about WIldStar and fantasize about themselves playing WIldStar because they can't right now for some reason, or just, like to hear someone else's journey through the world. That's kind of what these more discussion-like videos are about. I'll have a more structured video coming out soon here, I hope, as well, but I have a lot of fun with these videos. For instance, I'll share a little bit about my life. It's Monday right now, and I did not have to go to work because we had a long weekend because it was Canada Day. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Canada. I do live in Canada, and Canada turned 150. So, hey, if you're listening to this video and made it this far, you should say happy birthday to Canada, because, hey, that's a pretty big milestone. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun celebrating over the weekend, and it's just a fun time when you get Monday off. I mean, no one's going to complain about that. So that's why I got to make this video. I got to play video games instead of going into work on Monday. It's getting really stormy outside too. That's another thing you can know about me. But yeah, back to the video content, I guess. I've played a warrior in this new sort of leveling experience too, and I think that's something I should really talk about because I've never actually played much in the way of warriors in WIldStar, and I don't know why that is. I think the fact that the game is so sci-fi and futuristic really made me want to try out these new classes that aren't in any other game. For instance, medics come to mind, or spell slingers to some degree. Those are two classes that I've been more interested in because I haven't been able to try those in any other game. Whereas a warrior, they're built like a warrior. They're very brute force. They are exactly what you think a warrior is going to be. And just because of that, I haven't sunk as much time into one ever in WIldStar. But playing through it, you actually get some really fun skills that are very interesting. A lot of leaps, you feel like you're very mobile, a lot of interrupts, and just reading through the skills, like you get like a tether and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun mechanics that you don't get to play on any other class really. And that's just, it's what warriors get. And I think that's something that WIldStar has done very well is that they've made most of the classes feel very unique at this point. I've been going through a lot of different games recently, specifically Black Desert Online. I went and revisited MapleStory. Obviously, I play Guild Wars 2 and a lot of other games, but some of the issues that these games face at some point, especially the games that add new classes as a part of their expansion or new content, is that the classes start to feel similar at some point. This is a case more so for classes with, that there's a lot of classes in. For instance, MapleStory has this problem to a huge degree, and to a smaller degree, Black Desert, where some parts of the classes feel very similar to one another. Like, there's this one big attack, you have all these little attacks, you have some movement skills that look kind of similar to each other, and it starts to feel a bit old. Whereas WIldStar has, few classes, and I think it's safe to say at this point that we're probably not getting a new class anytime soon. Probably just, more race class combinations, if that. But the select few of classes really makes each class feel very unique when you're playing it. And I really started to fall in love with the very small differences that it is to play a warrior in WIldStar while I was questing with them. And this became even more fun when I started tanking with them. I mean, obviously Protostar Academy is very weak in terms of tanking skill level, but it was very fun to play it, and I just had a lot of fun really exploring what each skill did. But yeah, I think that's enough of what I want to share before I really get too ranty and dragged on. For your sake, I hope you were playing WIldStar, playing some sort of game while you listen to me talk about this. But if not, I'm very proud of you for making it this far in the video and just watching me quest, because watching someone quest sounds pretty boring. Though, if you're listening to someone while you quest, that was a very smart thing to do. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy my regular, kind of boring, but just very typical WIldStar content. I mean, why not share what I'm actually doing in WIldStar instead of just making a bunch of videos about what I want to change in WIldStar or what I want WIldStar to be? I mean, obviously I'll keep making those videos, but it's good to show people what kind of fun you can have in WIldStar right now just by jumping in for free. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, and happy birthday, Canada, if you have made it this far. I'd love to see it in the comments. Make me very proud of where I live. It's great. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.